Hello and welcome back to Random Librarian here on YouTube. My name is Ingrid, I'm a librarian, and this channel is very random. Today's video especially because it starts as a bit of an oopsie, but like an oopsie we can work with. I really shouldn't make boxes a thing that I buy, like monthly boxes that renew, because when they say like pay month by month, I assume that means you're only buying the 1 month and it won't renew. But that's not the case. So I have 2 boxes that I did that for recently. So today's we are going to be talking about Sakura. So I got the May box as a little treat for myself for my birthday, and this is the June box. And it's actually kind of good that it came this way because I really want to talk about Tokyo Ever After, and that takes place in Japan. And one of the snacks is one of Princess Izumi's favorite snacks while she's living in the palace. So it all works out. It's kind of perfect. It's also citrus themed. My dad was just here and he really likes chocolate and orange things. And so I gave him an orange cake and a chocolate orange tart. So it's all good. Everything's fine. The same box as last time. Nice to meet you. Let's have tea. So we're going to be having a little tea party snack thing and talking about Tokyo Ever After, which I absolutely adored. I think it's going to be a fun video. So here's this month's setup. Summertime Citrus for June 2021, volume 4. I think we have 13 or 14 snacks as well as some tea. I'm going to grab you guys and show you my tea tray setup. Alrighty, so as you can see here, we have the Doriaki, which is Izumi's favorite snack. We have a little matcha fish, which looks delicious. This is the chocolate and orange tart I was telling you about. And this is the matcha Taiyaki. I don't know how to say that, but it seems like a mix of 2 of my favorite types of tea actually, so I'm really excited for that. And these are some sweets that are also salty. So maybe like the Japanese equivalent of a saltwater taffy. That's the very cute card that I'm going to be using as a bookmark. And here is the lovely, lovely book. Back to the chair. Alrighty, so this time the bit of stuff, non-edible extras that they gave us was this little tray. So I have that in my lap. And I am using my iMug. And just off the bat, I want to say that I felt a lot of kinship with Izumi just based off of the difficulty of finding names that start with I on like keychains or mugs or anything. Like I think I have 1 bowl that has my name on it that I got when I was in France. And that's it. And it's especially exacerbated for me because my brother's name is John, so if he wanted to, he could get his name on literally anything in the US. But Izumi and I are not that lucky. And my name's Swedish, so I don't think it's ever like gotten too many raised eyebrows. I haven't had to ever change my name. Izumi has this like heartbreaking passage in the book where she talks about going by Izzy because it's easier, and easier on her predominantly white classmates as opposed to easier on herself because she loves her name and she doesn't really get to hear it enough until she finds out she's a princess. So I guess I should probably tell you about what the actual premise of this book is. If you haven't seen it already, this is a book that I am telling you you must read this summer. And honestly, at this point, I'm feeling like you should get it with this box, if at all possible. I wish that I had these snacks while reading the book the first time, but I'm equally happy to have them while talking about it with you. So yeah, this feels like the perfect mix between 2 of my favorite types of teas, which I said already, but a matcha and like a rice-based tea. It's just really tasty though. So the card, we're just gonna talk a little bit, bouncing back and forth between the book and the box. Says, June in Japan brings with it the warm summer months along with the rainy season. Staying hydrated during these times can be tricky, but thankfully Japan has a cornucopia of summer citrus fruits such as mikan and hyuganatsu that have helped people stay refreshed for centuries. This month, my team and I wanted to help Our global Sakura family beat the early summer heat with a selection of refreshing sweets and snacks inspired by Japanese summer citrus that will make your mouth water. Wishing you all a happy and healthy June. Love, Ayumi. I just really like these as bookmarks. They're kind of perfect. They're like a thick, papery wonderfulness. So I originally picked up Tokyo Ever after a presentation by the publisher, which is Flatiron Books. So I did get it as an early reader. I'm not being paid to say this. I just genuinely absolutely loved this book. So this book feels a lot like The Princess Diaries, or more like What a Girl Wants-y, in terms of she gets to meet her dad. So Izumi is growing up in a predominantly white California town, small northern California town. She has always just grown up with a single mom. She and her mom are really close. She has just an incredible group of friends. I absolutely love them. We get to be part of their group chats at different points in the novel, and they're just very, very supportive of each other. And she and her 3 friends are pretty much the only Asian American students in their, again, predominantly white town. So we really, from the beginning, get these questions of like belonging and identity and feeling like you're too much of either part of yourself. So Izumi thinks a lot about, whether she's in Japan or in the United States, about if she's too American to be Japanese or too Japanese to be American. And for such a light book, this really does have moments that like hurt my heart, just because Izumi is such a lovable character, and I hated seeing her wrestle with those things, even though I know it's like something that a lot of people do wrestle with. So, oh God, I love this book so much. So one day when she and one of her closest friends are like looking in her mom's room for skincare and like makeup stuff, they find this rare botanical book, because her mom is a professor and has a soft spot for botany, that has a poem and is signed the name that she knows like her mother called her father. And so her friend goes into like research mode, which also really identified with, because librarians very much are primarily that friend who will do that research and find you what you need to know. And goes through like the Harvard records, because that's where her parents met, and ultimately discovers that Izumi's long-lost father is the Crown Prince of Japan. And there's this whole whirlwind of like the world finding out that she has been missing this whole time. She gets the moniker the Lost Butterfly, and then she kind of just gets whisked off into this world of like everyone wants to know her every move. And she's in Tokyo and she's meeting all of her extended family, and it's a wild ride. So we have her 2 main antagonists are who she calls the Shining Twins, and they're her cousins who have been princesses their whole lives and kind of know what's expected of them. Right from the bat, we get them kind of presented as foils, because Izumi shows up to the airport in like normal airport garb that I think most of us would wear, in terms of like, you know, comfortable clothes, leggings, a big t-shirt, not really what you want to be photographed in by paparazzi. But then in a newspaper article that gets clipped in here as well, which is really cool. I love the like multimedia aspects of this. We see one of the Shining Twins, not said in a nice way, like Shining Twins from The Shining, not like shining glittery twins. Shows up in a blazer and like a smart little outfit. So she has a lot to learn. She has a lady in waiting who becomes just absolutely a joy. Their friendship is really cute. She has a startlingly attractive bodyguard, and just like lots of cute moments between her and her dad, and like that when you're meeting someone important to you for the first time, where you start presenting like the best possible version of yourself, even if it's kind of a white lie, and seeing them kind of get past that and actually becoming a father-daughter pair. Oh God, I just love this book so much that I think I'm gonna leave it there and just let you know that like there are lots of twists and turns in terms of the public opinion, in terms of like mistakes she makes, but also like moments of triumph. And it's this back and forth pull of like, does she want to continue to be a princess and like stay in Japan, or does she want to go home to her kind of anonymous life in California with her mom and her close friends and like everything that she's known. It's very fun, but again, it does have those moments of deeper questioning and oh God, I just love this book. I really feel like everyone should read it. It was such a fun, summery read to kind of kick off the warm season, which is what we're going with the box too. This is a book that you will want to hug, so check it out for sure. I think Emiko just did an amazing job with all of the characters. The one thing that I did wish is that the twins could have been more like Peach and Pear from What a Girl Wants, instead of like, was it Clarissa? The evil almost stepsister? It was like two of those. Two of her instead of Peach and Pear, who were delightful. But, you know, maybe we'll get a book 2 or like a movie or a TV adaptation, because there could be room for redemption, and I think this book deserves anything. Like, literally give her a Netflix series. Give her, like, Hulu, Amazon Prime movie release in theaters. Oh, so good. So I have seen this described as The Princess Diaries meets Crazy Rich Asians, and it definitely does kind of give those vibes because she's royalty, like legit royalty. So we get to hear about like the splendor of her surroundings and what she's wearing, but that's not really the focus either. It's just kind of, you know, window dressing. So I agree with that to a certain extent. But also, I'm just really glad that she has her dad. So it's not quite Princess Diaries, where she's like kind of on her own with the help of her grandmother. And it's almost kind of like Princess Diaries 2, where there's like the love interest that's not really supposed to be the love interest and the paparazzi who are following them everywhere. Just read this book. If you've ever wanted to be like Anne Hathaway or Amanda Bynes, read this book. Please. And then come talk to me about it because it's so, so good. It came out, let's see, May 25th. So it's a very recent publication and it is so good. Perfect for like end of May, start of June. Get it, grab some snacks, make a day of it. So fun. The audiobook is also stellar because it shows the correct pronunciation for the Japanese that she's learning. And as someone who speaks no Japanese, it was definitely interesting to hear the narrator tell me what it says instead of like hearing it stumbling in my own head. So I highly recommend both the written part and the audio component. Now let's talk about the snacks a little bit. So the two that I have opened are the Doriaki, which is Princess Izumi's favorite snack. And then this is the chocolate citrus tart that I mentioned I gave to my dad. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna try these and then I'll show you what's in the rest of the box. Sound good? Mm-hmm. So they had Doriaki in last month's box as well, and it's kind of like two, almost like American pancakes, but with red bean paste on the inside and probably made with different flours and stuff, but it's just absolutely delicious. Oh my goodness. And a little tart. Mm-hmm. The citrus definitely comes through. I think they have some of the rind in the tart itself, which is always a good call. If you can like add in some zest, definitely ups the flavor profile. Look at me, I'm a recipe book tube now. So those are extremely, extremely tasty. I'm a big fan. All right, let's do a little booklet. So I'm going to go right to the middle. So we have Matcha Taiyaki, which are the little fishes. You have this little guy, and he has matcha powder on the inside. So I might have him like, it's not really, it's a like cake, but I'll have it for breakfast tomorrow because I sadly cannot have too much caffeine, especially this late in the day. Even just the tea is probably gonna cause me some extra insomnia on top of everything else. So this is crafted by Haraya, a maker with 103 years of snack making experience. This delightful fish-shaped delight that is unique to Japan is filled with a rich matcha flavored center. So my poor little guy got a little bit beat up in the mail, but I'm sure he's going to be equally delicious. So I already mentioned these little candies, and they are actually called Waraku no Sato, which is salt Yokon. Easy for an on-the-go snack, this salt Yokon blends the flavors of sweet anko with a salt accent. Recently, salt has been featured in many summer sweets, and we're excited to share one with you. So it kind of looks like either like I thought like taffy or caramel. So that's pretty good. There's a French caramel that kind of looks like it would be the same consistency, which is a carambar, if anyone's had one of those. But they also make like fruit versions of those, so I don't know. Ah, there we go. Oh, when I actually take it out, it looks almost more jelly-like. More jelly-like. It's very subtle. I like it. Tasty, tasty. Okay. Next up, we have the rest of the box. So everything else that's in here. Let's start with this guy. So this is a jelly. It's Mochi Azuki jelly. So it's kind of cool with all the little stuff in it. You can kind of see all the different components, and it looks like it would bounce if I dropped it. This is a refreshing break to indulge in this jelly. Known for helping people to cool down, this jelly is filled with mochi and Azuki beans for an unforgettable summer sweet. So I'll definitely pop that in the fridge. That seems like a good idea. Okay, this is a Komachi Chestnut Pie. And it looks really tasty in the picture. Apparently the pie crust is like a sweet pie crust, so that blends Japanese and Western culture, which should be very tasty again. Oh, I actually love this kind of snack, and I haven't had one in a really long time, so this was a fun surprise. More of a savory snack than I think most of the things in here, but it is plum and wasabi okaki, so that's going to be an interesting mix of flavors going on here. But I know that I really like those kind of crackers and the nuts that accompany them. Okay, let's see. I think this is the seaweed rice cracker. I love seaweed snacks and I like rice crackers, so that's going to be the perfect combo, I believe. We also have an uji matcha cake, which is delicious looking. It seems a very bright green on the inside, just based on the images that I'm getting here and here. And I love matcha. So, and I love cake. So I'm very excited about the snacks that I'm going to be able to have this month. This is the other little cake that I gave my dad, which is a fresh orange cake. So I'm hoping that that also has delicious bits of like rind and orange flavor in it. We have this other bit of mochi. So this is the Hochija Warabi mochi. And this apparently is again like a light snack, light and jelly-like. And it pairs with the roasted Japanese tea flavor like the tea that I had. Then I have 2 more snacks left to show off. We have a summer citrus monaka. This is, the citrus in this one is the Huganatsu, which I don't know much about, but they have a page in here that's going to explain all of it. Oh, it's beautiful. So it looks a bit like a lemon, but not quite. From Yuzu to Mikan, Japan has a love affair with citrus, and Huganatsu is no exception. This curious fruit was only recently discovered, completely by chance, in 1820. They are a naturally occurring hybrid of yuzu and pomelo. Oh, that's so cool. So our last snack is the Summer Fruits Jelly from Osaka. I just love the look of these. They're kind of cool. Like it's almost like art, you know? Instead of edible, it looks like it might be like resin. So this is Japanese Mikan orange and grapes. Ooh, very cool. Delish. Okay, so that is what's going on this month with Sakura. And I will remember to put my subscription on hold before next month. Probably, hopefully. I might do another of these videos by accident in next month, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm really excited about all these snacks, especially the Doriaki, because it is mentioned in this book a handful of times, and I know that Princess Izumi really likes it. And I hope you read this book. Let me know if you're interested by any of these snacks, by any of the plot points that I mentioned, and I will see you guys hopefully pretty soon. Bye!